There are two chances, just as you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball and you could have scored. At least you could have given, even if you didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Another beautiful day to talk sport. We started earlier today. It was South Africa painfully got eliminated from the females World Cup, the Women's FIFA World Cup, going on in Australia and New Zealand. They lost 2-0. You can check our live feeds and you will see, you can go there to check a review of it. And we are here to talk about the beginning of the #1 league in the world, from Beijing down to New York, even to South Africa. Lagos is not left out, even to the Far East, to the Middle East. It's one league that the attention of the world is on. It's the English Premier League. And there's this beautiful match that we started with. It's like a dose of what to expect for the new season, because the new season will actually start August 11th. So we are starting with the Community Shield. The Community Shield is a competition, is like a charity game that the winner of the Premier League and the FA Cup usually play. So peradventure there is a season whereby the winner of the Premier League is the same winner of the FA Cup. It will be the game between the first and the second in the Premier League the following season. So that's why we have Arsenal facing Manchester City today. It's going to be a mind-blowing match. I'm Adeyemi. I'll be hosting the show today. Sometimes you can see me on the other side. Well, it's just part of the beauty of the game. So we'll go for a very short break. And when we'll be back, I'm not in the studio alone. I have my regular suspect. The guys that can actually break it down for you. They talk about football as if it's just the normal water we drink. So we'll be right back in a moment. Stay with us. Back, I told you it's going to be a very short break. I have in the studio with me, from my far left, Shegun. The gaffer will call him Shegelu.
Good afternoon, Yemi. Good afternoon, Solomon. Good afternoon, football lovers around the world. It's the Community Shield, and it's supposed to be the game between Arsenal and Manchester City. It's actually the curtain raiser, you know.
Yeah.
It's been long since May when the season actually finished.
Yeah.
We've all been thankful for the Female World Cup that has kept us busy and kept us lively and talking about football. But right now we have the most talked about sports in the whole world. And the most talked about league in the whole world, talking about the English Premiership. You know, this is the curtain raiser. The league starts. It kicks off next week. And you know, it promises to be a beautiful and interesting game. Lot of talkings. You know, the most expensive England player, the most expensive England player, talking about Declan Rice.
Your father, right?
He's on the pitch right now. We have the players who moved from Chelsea, talking about Kai Havertz and Kovacic. They're both on the pitch. So they just want to kickstart their career, and they want to kickstart their career at their new clubs, respectively. You know, it's going to be a big boost to whoever wins this this competition. Don't let me call it competition because it's not really a competition, it's just like a friendly match. So it promises to be a very interesting 90 minutes, and let's just see. Hope the better team wins. Yeah,
hope the better team wins. Well, some people will celebrate this trophy as if it's a main trophy. Arsenal fans might do that. But when you are used to winning the big trophies, Man City fans might just be indifferent. I also have the gaffer with me here, Solomon. You're welcome to the show.
All right, thank you very much, Yemi. I think it's a beautiful day to talk about football, and most especially this time around, it's a different scenario where this is not the female World Cup. Yeah. This is the this is the England.
The curtain raiser.
Oh yeah. This is like it's like the opener of a new beginning of your new season. And it's a thing of joy for us to see how Arsenal has been able to solidify their defense with the introduction of new signing. Declan Rice is there, Julian Timber is there. Yeah. And we hope to see how it plays today on the field. It's not about them talking about Arsenal, all the rumors of transfer. Now it is time for us to see how far it can go. I just expect to see that Arsenal win this match today because I
used to stylishly say that the gaffer looks more like an Arsenal fan.
Which club do you support?
When they say footballer shout.
No. Most of the people that sound like this,
you're actually going to have a club where you're conscious.
When you see his body reaction towards Arsenal game, you will notice that he has a soft spot for Arsenal.
Let me be frank. I don't support team. I support individual players.
Wow.
You understand? I support individual. When I'm in love with your style of play, my spirit will back you up. You understand what I'm saying?
But you are in love with players like Saka, players like Gabriel, and even Father Rice. Sorry,
Declan Rice. I want to see him, but I want to see him, shine in Arsenal. After bringing him from West Ham, I want to see him shine.
That's a lot of money,
That's a lot of money, and I expect because at the end of the day, I don't want him to be like a Maguire. After being the most expensive defender.
How does Maguire enter? Please leave Maguire. Leave Harry in Maguire.
You know why? It is a similar thing right now because what do you call him? Declan Rice. Is brought in a very high amount. And I remember in 2019, Maguire was the most expensive defender.
Yes.
You understand? And today, if you say Maguire, a lot of people will not want to buy him, but a lot of people who know understand football will still want Maguire in their team.
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
But not the top teams. There are a lot of teams in League 1 and League 2, even Championship. There are a lot. A lot actually. And the game is at the 12th minute of the game, and it's been end-to-end stuff, very entertaining. That was a low cross into the box, cleared by Odegaard. And let's start with the formation. Man City played a 4-2-3-1 diamond formation that they play once in a while with Ortega in goal, Akanji on the left, Diaz and Stone pairing at the central, Walker on the right, Rodri and Kovacic playing deep in the midfield, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez and Grealish up front, then Alan top striking.
Well, this is a good lineup. The only unfamiliar name has to be Ortega, who happens to be Manchester City's second choice goalkeeper.
Yes.
That means Ederson is one Wizards, but we've seen Ortega last season and how reliable he can be for Manchester City. It's good seeing John Snows back in the central defense pairing with Diaz, because that is his regular position. Yeah. And he also did a fantastic work, playing as a double pivot in the midfield with Rodri last season. But now they have a fantastic 8 in Kovacic, which can actually.
But he's not playing it today.
He can play 8. He can play 4.
Okay, he's actually sitting deep.
Yeah, he's actually a fantastic defensive midfielder. But the difference between you having Stones and Rodri in midfield is that Stones is more defensive-centric than attacking. Yeah. But right now they're having a Rodri and a Rodri who is actually good as a defensive midfielder and who has also improved when going forward. We saw it in his game last season. And now you're having a Kovacic who is also good sitting deep and is also good going forward. So you have two players who can actually, you know, combine with each other and also switch plays between each other in the game. So that is one thing Manchester City was actually missing last season. They were missing a second player, flexible midfielder who actually play with with Rodri in the defensive midfield role. We might argue that Calvin Phillips can do that, but you know, we know how much Calvin Phillips gets injured during the season. And that
was a good shot.
That was a good shot from Rodri. And when you look at the first, the top three lines, you have where you have Bernardo Silva, you have you have Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, and Grealish. Now, that's regular suspect. I think the only person missing there is Kevin De Bruyne, and you know Mahrez is gone. He's gone to Saudi Arabia right now. So
gone to collect the money.
Is also gone.
You know, in Nigeria, some people call it oil money.
Gundogan is also gone to Barcelona. But we've seen Alvarez played in that old position. You know, sometimes last season when Guardiola tries him in that position, and that is one thing about Pep Guardiola. You know, he's never scared of tweaking his team. You know, he's very flexible with that. We're bringing players from another position to play another position, and they gave him fantastic, you know, results when it happens. We've seen Alvarez in that position, and having Haaland at the top as the top striker here. That's the highest score in EPL last season and the highest score in the Champions League. Also, the highest score in the European Nations League. So he's coming into this season, you know, with a lot of motivation and is looking fresh. He's looking fresher for the season. So it's a fantastic 11 for Manchester City. They are never in doubt with their first starting 11 because this is a squad that is as good as having first 11 and having another 11 on the bench that is capable of competing against our own first 11. Not any other team.
When you say our own?
Our own. I'm talking about Manchester City first 11, not Chelsea.
Okay. You mentioned it. And Solomon, going to the Arsenal lineup, you see Ramsdale in goal, Ben White, right hand side of the defense. You know, they played their normal 4-3-3 with Saliba and Gabriel, then Timbers on the left. Then we have Partey, Rice, and Odegaard. Not our father Rice, but Declan Rice. And we have Saka, Havertz, and Martinelli up front. What are your thoughts on this?
Honestly, I want to commend the defense of the Arsenal side because though on paper it looks so good. It looks so good. And to me, it's a test of what they have actually marginalized and bringing and making, you know, manifesting right now on the field. If you look at the lineup, the back lineup, it is very solid. With Timber, the new signing, Gabriel, Martinelli, Saliba, and White. It's a very good one for us.
Timber is not playing out of position.
Yeah, he's playing out of he's playing left.
That is why this guy. Why is why Bernardo has been having it easier against him because one or twice now we've seen Bernardo, you know, take the ball against Timber and nobody's a match to Bernardo on his own day.
So with his experience, Timber, I think with time he can still, as a good player, we know him very well.
Actually fantastic.
He can still, you know,
adjust
to it and when we look at the midfield of it, we have Rice, Partey, and Odegaard. I think it's a very good combination, in fact, fantastic selection. Then up front, you have Martinelli, Havertz, the new signing too from Chelsea, and Saka. We expect to see the best of us now. You know, Arteta just collected the yellow card. I don't know why it's so pressurized to be getting yellow card.
No pressure is when you play Manchester City. This is Manchester City.
With the formation, with this very formation, I expect the Arsenal team to be able to hold this Manchester City because Arteta himself as a coach knows Guardiola very well.
Wow.
You know, out of the 8 times they've played, Guardiola have won. Out of the 9 times they played, Guardiola have won Arteta 8 times.
And he knows him very well.
And Arteta only won once. So for somebody to beat you 8 times,
has he beaten Manchester City?
No, once. Yes, he has beaten Manchester City once. I think that was 3-0. Arsenal won Manchester City. That was in. But I will remind you. I will remember you of the year. But Arsenal have actually beaten. Arteta was actually beating Guardiola once out of the 9 times they met. So for somebody to beat you 8 times, you must, as a good coach, you must have sat down once and say, okay, why is this man always beating me? What is he doing that I am not doing. You know, you should be able to come up with something. I don't expect Manchester City to flog Arsenal today. That's why I say I am behind Arsenal today. And if you look at it, it's showing to be very difficult for Manchester City to penetrate the defense of Arsenal right now.
Solomon, this same match
it was FA Cup 2020.
This same match you are watching.
Yes.
Because I know that in Premier League, he's yet to lose a game against Arteta. Probably in that season.
No, FA Cup.
Okay,
It's FA Cup.
Yeah. Right.
2020.
If it's the same game we are watching that, Solomon is analyzing that Manchester City are finding it hard to penetrate Arsenal defense. Well, let us see.
You doubt
Of
it?
course. Let's look at the statistics and know if actually they've actually made so many.
This has been for our viewers. This has been a first half dominated by
Manchester
Man
City.
City. Man City has 85% of possession.
So that is normal when Manchester City plays.
Go attempt 2-0, like in
How
almost
many
all
shot on
the
targets?
No shot on
Not
target.
for Manchester
They've
United.
had
Shot off target.
Two shot off target.
Yes. And Man City has
If you're talking
gotten
about
one
a team
corner.
who is here to penetrate through the defense, we've not really seen Arsenal front
Arsenal
line,
is here to come to
get
the party.
into the party or get into the Manchester City what's it called defense. So it has actually been stressful for them for the past 20 minutes we've been watching this game. Let's just see how much you can bring in Havertz, because it's very much important when you bring Havertz, and I really want to see what Havertz is going to bring to this Arsenal. What is going to actually bring that is far different from what he offers at Chelsea. Because if they're using Havertz as a 9 at Arsenal like they started today, let's just say probably because Jesus is out injured. Probably that's why Havertz is playing as a 9. Because we know how much it didn't work for him at Chelsea. We've seen him play in that position for Germany, and he hasn't really performed. So that really shows that as Havertz playing as a 9 is not. It can't really happen. It can't really work out for him there. I prefer him playing as one of the 3 man in the midfield, probably play 1 defensive midfielder and 2 attacking-minded midfielder. That is where I feel Havertz actually, brings his best for his team.
Oh. And 21st minute of the game, Arsenal 0, Man City 0. But so far, the first 20 minutes has been dominated by Man City.
That is types of possession, right?
Even the play.
Everything. But you know what I'm trying to say. Listen, we know.
I don't know what you're trying to say. You can't tell me you know.
You know the nature of Manchester City.
You are the only one that knows what you're saying.
I'm the only one that knows.
Don't say you know what I'm saying.
Now, Manchester City, their nature is to dominate play. And by this time, they must have wiped a team 1 or 2.
It doesn't matter.
Now they are not getting that thorough penetration. That is why I say the defense of Arsenal is very solid right now.
Yeah,
so
the defense.
They are not playing a small team.
They're
actually playing a big team.
Of course.
So it's not responsible.
So it's not as if they'll just win the game on the platter of goals.
Score like 3 or 4 goals. It doesn't work that way. Wow, that's Alan trying to get 1 or 2 in their, through the
and that's one of the things they missed about Saliba.
Yeah.
Saliba is more composed than Gabriel. And I think that's my own personal reason why Arsenal lost the league last season. And so, the gaffer said Arsenal defense should be given some credit. Shegun said,
No.
He said not yet.
Yeah, we are just starting the argument. My job here is to put fuel into the argument.
Please,
is to put fuel into the argument and let us enjoy every
what I was
bit
just
of
trying
it.
to say in essence was that you don't overhype the Arsenal defense. They've not actually faced any threat from the Manchester City yet. So actually see how much they can, how much energy they have in there, how much they can absorb that pressure. We've not really seen Alan get into this game. This game is just starting. We're just in the 22nd minute. Both teams are yet to dominate play. We've not seen both teams trying to lay down their tactical
not even
approach
shot
into
on
it.
target.
So it's not like the game has gotten that far that will not say that Manchester City can't, or they're finding it hard to penetrate through the Arsenal defense.
Yeah, when you look at it, you can see Arsenal playing both Partey and Declan Rice. Now, Solomon, I know you have soft spot for Arsenal, even though you deny it. Do you see Declan Rice being the magical player that can bring the league to Arsenal this season?
Well, to some extent, I will say yes. But I'm very sure that the positivity is going to bring into the Arsenal squad will be very obvious for every sport lovers to see.
All right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I will not say he will be the savior because he needs more time to settle with the style of Arsenal play. You understand? But that combination is what we did not see last season. That kind of combination is what we did not see last season. In fact, sometimes you will see Partey alone trying to control that, but with the assistance we get from Declan Rice, it will be so easy for him. And it will so help the defense of the Arsenal that they will not be on due pressure.
Yeah.
And that's what we are seeing right here. It's already obvious. If you don't want to, maybe if you are trying to say it's early to start analyzing. But for me now, the past 23 minutes, going to 24 minutes, to me it is obvious that it is working out for Arsenal.
Okay. If you say it's working out, Shegun, I'll still get to you. If you say it is working out, looking at it, the normal Arsenal we used to know would have had at least one shot on target against Arsenal, or off target against Man City. Now Arsenal is as if the withdrawal of one attacking midfielder there is already affecting, because you have to -1 to add one. Defensively, you want to add one, so you -1 of an attacking midfielder.
Of course, I understand what you are saying. Now, you say they've not actually moved. But remember, in football, every coach comes with his own tactics. You understand? I don't want to preempt what Arteta is coming.
That's the
okay, and you can see the attack now. And you can see
Albert.
Wow!
That was a nice.
Arsenal just got a chance. Karabat made an attempt. The Karabat we used to know, he missed a lot.
That's it. Continue. I'm coming to.
I know he's coming to somewhere. I know, but let me say my own mind.
That was a good one from Albert.
That was a good one for us.
That was a good one from the
now,
Manchester. From
you see, it's gradually happening.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's gradually happening. A coach can come up with my. He said, you can calm down for the first 30 minutes. You understand? Just calm down, study, and in the next 30-35 minutes, you go out to attack. It is possible. So we are already seeing the first attack. It was just a leg that saved the first goal right now.
It's not a leg that saved it. It's Havertz's first touch actually let him out there. That was actually a weak shot from Kyle Havertz. So let me go back to that talk of talking about the Arsenal midfield. From last season, yes, the midfield was actually Arsenal's biggest problem. Because if we look at the last season, they needed someone who will actually relieve Odegaard of doing much stress up front. And Odegaard was the only attacking midfielder in the Arsenal starting 11 last season. Yeah. Yes, they've always played, two defensive-minded midfielder. But they got
but there was Xhaka.
They had Jorginho. They have Xhaka. Xhaka is more of a defensive-minded midfielder.
But he attacks more.
He attacks, and the only attacks Xhaka brings to the game is shots, not creativity. Yeah. So they needed a creative midfielder who can calm the flow of play in the midfield. Probably that was why they got Havertz into this team. Because at the end of the day, Arsenal 3 midfielder, the way I'm looking at it, they're still going to play just one defensive midfielder. That's why they need a defensive midfielder like Declan Rice, who will stay fit for a long time of the season and who has a lot of runnings in him. I see Declan Rice like a white N'Golo Kante to me. He has a lot of runnings in him. He has good passes. He knows how to shield the defense. So that, and you know that a player like Thomas Partey, who always gets injured, he can't stay fit for a whole season. And it's looking likely that he will also be moving to Saudi Arabia. So that Declan Rice is settled as Arsenal defensive midfielder.
It seems Arteta is saying he will still be around.
Well, let's see if he's being around.
Because they will actually need him.
There's Partey, there's Jorginho, there's Declan Rice.
Jorginho is actually injured.
There'll be one room for just one of them. And the attacking midfielder will surely be, Odegaard and Havertz. While Odegaard is playing more of the 8 as box-to-box midfielder. And Havertz will be the link between the strikers and the midfielder. That is where they actually missed it last season. Okay. So now this season, they've actually, fixed that problem of their midfield. And that was one thing that actually cost them last season. Because when Odegaard is out of the game, if Odegaard form has dropped, Arsenal progression to the front is dropped. And I think one mistake they're actually making again is not getting a better replacement or a substitute for Saka. Because that boy was overused last season. And we saw that from the moment Saka started,
Dropping.
dropping in form. Arsenal started dropping also.
Yeah.
And we've not really seen that much of bite from Saka. The boy actually needs rest.
He carries the team.
I've been saying from last season, Saka needs a lot of rest. So they're still in the market. Probably they'll still need a striker because Gabriel Jesus is already looking like a striker you can depend on for the whole full season. He will surely get injured. So the midfield is settled right now. They have a good winger when you look at Martinelli. Martinelli has a good substitute in Trossard, but Saka wing is at the front.
Yeah.
He will lose more than the numbers of goals he will score.
And to be fair on Harvard, I've seen him play number 8. I've seen him play number 9. He's a fantastic number 8.
That is it. He's a fantastic number 8.
Sometimes I used to ask this question. Why do you think Arsenal bought Havertz?
It's more to use him as when it comes to utility. Havertz is a utility player. He can play as a makeshift 9, not a permanent 9. They just used him. He can't be a permanent 9. You can use him as a makeshift 9, but he is a very good player that can actually play as 8 and can give you good performance as 10. When you look at the calmness at which Havertz plays this game, it gives you something very close to what Mesut Ozil offers you in football. That is how fantastic Havertz can be. But you can't work at that Chelsea team. When Chelsea sold, Mason Mount, I was having to believe that Havertz is going to come back to the midfield and play. I wasn't expecting that transfer to Arsenal from him. Of course, I was feeling like this is
Chelsea wanted to give him an extended contract, and it was looking like he wasn't willing to stay longer. So Chelsea didn't want to risk it. They just wanted to cash in on him.
So that is
because
just it.
If he had 1 year left on his contract, the cost will drop, the value will drop.
I was feeling like Mason Mount playing as Chelsea 8 or 10 is one of the reasons why Chelsea had to play Havertz as a 9 and not in the midfield. So when Mason Mount was out of it, I was feeling like, okay, Chelsea now who have Havertz who can actually go back to the midfield. But good on for him at Arsenal. I'm really interested in seeing him playing as one of the 3-man midfield for Arsenal this season. And I'll actually put my eye on him. I really want to see what he brings to the table for this Arsenal team.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on Harvard.
That was a wayward play from Ramsey.
Yeah, very risky one. We'll keep an eye on Harvard, but not only Harvard. We'll be looking at Declan Rice because for that over 100 million, 105 million, one wrong pass we criticize because to whom much is given, much is expected. Well, it's the 31st minute of the game, 0-0 so far. So far, so good. So far, not so good. So far, so good for Man City. Not so good for us now because Man City has completely dominated play. 77% to 23% for us now at the 31st minute of the game.
Wow, this ref is looking like a card. He's a card. If
you look at the card he gave to Havertz, it's not worth it. You understand? Look at the card.
That was for distance. He was actually.
No, that was a foul.
That was a foul.
That was a foul.
But
Intentional foul.
It's a foul, but it's not worth a yellow card.
It's a yellow card anywhere in the world. It's a yellow card. And for our viewers, you can join this conversation live chat on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us so that you can get notified whenever we come up like this, so that you don't miss any dose of any edition when we come up live like this. So you can join the chat, just send your messages, we'll read it out, and you can join the conversation and tell us your opinion, because we are here because of you, actually. So
I think that's the major problem in this game has been in the midfield. The midfield has looked non-existent at all. They really need to get They really need to get Odegaard into play because that is actually their only link to the attack. When you look at the way they set up, playing the
flat 3 midfield.
It's a flat 3 midfield, but we are seeing more of we're seeing more of Partey and Declan Rice playing more defensively than Odegaard, who is the only player going forward there.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to contain the Manchester City midfield. But it's always a big problem when you are containing a player like Bernardo Silva. He's very good and so talented that he can actually bring 2 of your midfielders close to him.
Yeah, can attract players.
And there's Grealish also in that Manchester City team. So this team is actually filled with creative-minded players in that midfield.
And that's now a corner kick from Saka. But
it's still Arsenal control.
That was well cleared by Bernardo Silva. Well, looking at the game now, Do you see Arsenal bringing something of a threat to Man City in this game?
Well, you know, it's still looking like a game and the end of the two teams can win. You know, 31 minutes is not always easy when you actually take the game to Manchester City and you keep it at bay at 0-0 at this stage. 33 minutes, it shows that Arsenal have actually done something nice in this game. The defense has actually been great, no problem about that. The midfield has actually held their own against Arsenal. It's just about the attacking. We've not really seen much of what's it called, Saka and Martinelli, who are supposed to be doing the damages for the Arsenal team from the wing, and that is Martinelli on the ball. Let's see what he can end up doing with that. But he went back to the midfield to Thomas Partey.
And the gaffer, looking at this, it seems as if Arsenal is now taking the game to Man City for the past 5 minutes.
Yes. Like,
do you think is the game plan, or you just see Man City just cooling off a bit to reserve, just to manage their...
I told you that it's a game plan. You know what I'm saying? Because you know why I'm saying it now? Because it is actually actualizing himself, like I said before. It can be a game plan because we know Arsenal, they are attacking minded team also, just like Manchester City. Yeah. For you to see them just come, okay, let's relax, let's play this game. You know that it's a game plan. Yeah. I was saying in the 30 minutes, and actually 30 minutes. In the last 4 minutes, Arsenal actually taking possession of this game. They are now taking the attack to the Manchester City.
I think this started like around 25, 23
so,
minutes.
So whatever. But what we are seeing right now, they are closing the gap when it comes to possession. Maybe in the next, when you read the next possession now, you will see that Arsenal actually closed the gap.
It will still be 70 something.
It's still 77, 23.
In the next 5 minutes, when you read it, you will see. If you look at the dangerous attack the dangerous attack from Arsenal, it's more than that of Manchester City.
Just the one we saw from Kai Havertz. That's just dangerous attack we've seen from Arsenal.
And to be fair on Arsenal already have a shot on target, and Man City has no shot on target.
I've not really seen what's it called, Erling Haaland in this game. You know, he hasn't really
come to the party.
That's what. But it's not like they're frustrating me up front. We've not really seen the ball to Haaland that much in this game. Yeah. He has only been running around.
You know, when you look at it,
you have to give it to how clinical he is. When you least expect
and Saka one-on-one face with Akonji. Can you do?
That
was
wide going in. Wow. I think that's been the second time.
He's trying to tell the referee, this looks like a corner kick.
That is what Arsenal actually need in this game. Get Saka on the ball, you know. That ball is actually magical, and there's a lot of energy in the
There's a lot of energy in Saka. Saka is just one.
He was trying to actually beg
that. He has overstretched his leg there.
36. You can see the belief and frustrations of the
36 minutes of the game. The game is played at Wembley, one of the most traditional football stadiums in Europe, in the history of football, modern day football, and the history of European football. Well, so far so good for Man City and Arsenal, keeping it clean, 0-0 at 37th minute. But anything can still happen in football. Shagun, so far, what can you say about Kovacic? In this new team, do you think he's absorbing well into the Man City pattern?
Well, you know, it's still very new to this Manchester City pattern, because you have to look at the pattern it was coming from. That is Chelsea pattern, Gidigbo pattern that you guys play at your club. So,
you guys,
shoot and follow.
He's actually coming. He's actually coming from that kind of pattern to a proper way football is being played. The proper way football is meant to be played. So, and you know, well, you can't take it away from Kovacic quality. He's a fantastic player. Yeah. Whenever you see Kovacic plays with Modric at the Croatian national team, he's another type of midfielder from the one you do see at Chelsea. So I think we've not really seen him and that fluidity, you know, that sleekness on the ball. Kovacic on his day at Chelsea is not a player that passes around. He rather hold on to the ball and drag player and run with the ball. But I've not seen that, and you know that's one mentality about my Manchester City and Pep Guardiola's team. It doesn't really give that his defensive midfielder, you know, that freedom to actually hold on to the ball, because you know the first law of Guardiola is almost like you have to take yourself away from making errors around your box. So mostly we've only seen that the only player that got that freedom to actually do anything he wants with the ball is more of Bernardo Silva. That's
and
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne
mainly. So that's even when Bernardo plays as 4, you hardly see him take 1 or 2 dribbles. It's more about passing around. Yeah. So that is why we've actually been seeing a new type of Kovacic in this Manchester City, and it's actually good for him. You know, it gives him a new dynamics to his game. So it's good for him. Yeah,
it's good for Kovacic. Will it be good for Man City? Only time will tell. Well, 39th minute of the game, still 0-0. The gaffer, so far, what have you seen? What do you think is working for Man City in this game?
Yeah, what is working for Man City in this game is not, Man City have not actually come to the party like I used to know them. You know, Manchester City.
No, they are not playing a small team.
Yeah, I know they're
this is Arsenal we are talking about.
Now, this is Arsenal they are talking about. They won the Champions League. They defeated Inter Milan. They defeated Bayern Munich. You know,
we know the way, even the final, we know they were lucky.
You know, apart from lucky, it is their tactical brilliance that also
not just
them.
That they were lucky too.
Apart from the luck, their tactical brilliance also gave them that opportunity.
You don't play with our bats with all
this kind of, you understand what I'm saying? But we have not really seen them, that kind of tiki-taka play, and that is why we are talking about Kovacic. He's not used to the tiki-taka style of play. That is the Guardiola, traditional style of play. Spaniards, that is what they know how to do, and they brought it to Manchester City, and it's helping them to win trophy. And they're not really settled down. I don't know what, probably maybe because of the infusion of new players like Kovacic and who else is a new player in Manchester City.
It's more about Kovacic.
It's just Kovacic that is starting.
And the defender they bought from
that's now with one more chance.
Advert again, they brought him from
that's a typical advert. That is typical advert whenever
you know, I was just saying.
And that is Manchester
City. That's Kovacic.
You don't want to play with her. You don't
release Haaland, but I trust the defense of Arsenal. I trust the defense of Arsenal. It's not about you trusting the defense of Arsenal.
I can tell you that you see that Gaffer is like an Arsenal fan. He's just trying to corner.
Trusting the defense of Arsenal. That run by Haaland already way into the left side of the defense. So it's opening him up to the defender who's actually facing him. So the defender has more advantage than Haaland over there. Yeah. So on a good day, if it was Haaland running towards goal, both of them back to back, front to front, facing the ball, Havertz is going to outpace Saliba right there. Yeah. And it's Manchester City who are still trying to find a way to penetrate through the Arsenal defense. But the Arsenal, and that's Timber.
No signing, just collect the ball easily, and it is Havertz.
And looking at the 2 chances Kai Havertz has missed.
Those are 2 scoring. Those are 2 chances.
That brings back the question that, do you think Kai Havertz is reliable up front? You know, I'll start with the gaffer and get to Shegun. Do you think Kai Havertz is reliable up front? We saw what he did with Chelsea last season. Do you think he's reliable going for, it's going to be a 38 matches longer season?
Let me start from the season last season when the rumor of Havertz going to Arsenal came up. A lot of Arsenal fans were saying, why Havertz? Why are they buying Havertz? What is he coming to do in Arsenal? Somebody that is not scoring goal in Chelsea. But a lot of people keep their reservation. They were saying that on a very good day, that Havertz is a good striker. Probably he was not having a very good condition in Chelsea to score this goal. But now we are seeing him in Havertz. I don't want to, because it's still early. Because this very Havertz we are talking about now can end up being the hero of today's match. He has missed the first one. He has missed the second one. We hope he don't miss the third one. As a good striker, even Messi sometimes he miss first, miss second.
But looking at it, Shegun, if you look at that second chance,
he should be scoring that.
He should be scoring. Even the first one, he should be scoring.
Even if he's the midfielder, he should be scoring. The first one, his first
it's still understandable.
Actually let him out.
It was not balanced.
He wasn't balanced. He had to turn. He had to.
But that second one.
So that second one was a glaring one. A player of his.
Haaland will bury that.
A player of his caliber should be scoring. That still brings the question that he is not a standing nine. He is not a fantastic.
Even apart from that, is not a position that only 9 gets to.
But that
sometimes number 8 is there.
Typical advance with
he just lost it.
It's just like we complaining that Mr. Mount has been losing a lot of chances.
And the people that actually picked the goal prediction, the bookies, won't be happy with him missing that kind of chance. Well,
they know he has to get 4 chances to score.
No, how many did they have to create?
You know the fans of football. You know them with their mouth. You understand? They can talk and untalk. You understand? Now that Havertz has missed the first one, missed the second one. If he miss the third one, miss the fourth one, I'm very sure Arsenal fans begin to say Chelsea fans, when I carry
of course, there's no.
Don't carry your property.
You already collected. Chelsea already collected the money.
He doesn't need to lose the fourth and third.
Oh, that was a good attempt.
And
Almost
was testing him. I think
getting Ramsey off guard. Well,
so I was saying you don't need to actually. That's what.
Wow.
I have issue with all.
That
the
was a good.
Always coming out. Remember, Onana was caught
Let's
off guard
go to
yesterday.
Yesterday, for me personally,
Zaka. That was a chance. That was a chance.
Yeah, that was it. You know, the guy was the best goalkeeper last season.
Yep. And
I used to say, man, you went to bring in a midfielder. Attacking goalkeeper. No, they went to bring a midfielder to come and be the goalkeeper. And looking at the error, have you seen that error yesterday?
We are only looking at the error. Okay. But apart from the error, we also look at the positivity. Do you know that they created a chance by passing and man is scoring?
And now, see. This is it. They are playing less.
And that is Timber.
We know. We know.
Oh,
Albert's in the box. Oh, that
was good. Not defense.
And it was clear.
Solid defense.
It was clear. And when you look at it holistically, a Premier League team is very fast. Anyone is fast, and they know how to punish your errors. Are we not seeing Onana being the weak link for Arsenal? Meanwhile, their goalkeeper last season is their strongest link. Yeah. That even won many matches for them because of his exploit.
No. Yemi, Onana won't be the weakest link in that Manchester United team. Onana is actually a fantastic goalkeeper on his day. Forget that error that happens. It happens to him. And the thing is, he needs to be conscious of himself. There's no reason why you're coming, that much deep into the midfield when it's not like you're being countered or the ball is they're playing corner kick at the other side of the pitch. That is where he needs to actually be conscious and get himself disciplined with that. There's no point showing off. You're not showing off to anybody. Anybody can hit you on a quick counter and get that into your net. That was what happened against what's it called? We
are seeing the replay. Alvarez crossing the ball into the box, and that was very good defending. That was very good defending.
So they need to actually get him disciplined about it. You're a goalkeeper, for Christ's sake. That's the first thing. You're not an outfield player. So there's no point you getting. It was actually hit from about 40 yards away from his goalpost.
It was way too high on this.
For you to be picked from 40 yards shows how much you've gone far away from your goalpost, which is actually very wrong for a goalkeeper. I'm sure Eric Ten Hag will be talking to him, and I don't expect him to actually make that error. But that error, in that game against Lens, he actually gave a good account of himself in that game. Fantastic performance. Yes, it's not on the level of David De Gea. That's a fantastic goalkeeper any day. But I don't know why Manchester United fans don't actually buy into the idea, because probably they love him being a sweeper. They love Onana being a sweeper. A goalkeeper who is capable of, who is good with his foot. I remember what I just said about Peter Cech last season. Yeah. That if Peter Cech was still keeping till date, there will be some sets of people who actually be abusing him because he's not actually good with his foot. Football is actually evolving. We're having we're having more of clubs interested in having goalkeepers who are sweepers. See David Raya. See Raya, for example, too. That's another sweeper of a goalkeeper. He actually give you assist. The only goalkeeper I actually fancy very much in that sweeping position and very good with the traditional way of goalkeeping is Alisson for Liverpool. That's a fantastic goalkeeper.
And Ederson in Man City, which also good.
Ederson is more of a sweeper. Yeah. And it's the Manchester defense that is actually shielding Ederson. That's why Alisson benches him at Brazil national team.
Yeah, we are in the last minute of additional time. We've played the 45 minutes, and now we had 3 minutes additional time in this first half, and we are in the last minute of that additional time. Still 0-0. Man City, Arsenal has begun to come into the game from... that was a good run, but well defended. A good run from Kovacic.
That's the regular Kovacic.
Yeah, he likes running into space.
Who can actually run into space with the ball. And you can see him now, he's coming to the attack part of the field right now. And I think there's a switch between him and Rodri right now in that game, and that is what that's what you have when you have two fantastic midfielders, you know, who can actually utilize any
little
space.
Yeah.
You don't play with Rodri too at that front. Rodri can get shot. He can kick a very beautiful shot that is going straight to the box.
The gaffer, your prediction.
What you brought now,
Okay.
what you brought to Manchester City right now, it is not the conventional or the traditional Manchester City style of play. You know, you hardly see. Sometimes you have to get a clear chance before doing that kind of run.
And before we come back to you, it's half time in Wembley, England to be precise. Arsenal 0, Man City 0. A match during first half. The gaffer. Back to what you're saying.
All right. For you to see, you know, coming in, that's to show you that he has not actually, you know, mastered the traditional style of Manchester City. You know, he's just coming up with his own. And that what he did so is so brilliant that sometimes some midfielder.
But I can tell you that there's every tendency Guardiola will scold him.
Yeah,
for
he will
that.
scold him for that.
That's what I'm saying. Bernardo Silva, you know, Bernardo Silva does something like that. Even Mahrez does something like that when he was at Manchester City.
Yeah.
So it might just be that him playing as a defensive midfielder, that might just be the problem he'll be having with Guardiola. Because if you should lose the ball there, you are leaving your team. You know, you're letting your colleagues, your teammates, to actually face a counter from Arsenal there. That might just be the problem you'll be having with Guardiola. But that is the typical Kovacic pattern of play. That's the style of play.
Yeah. Well, you know, football sometimes can be banana peel. Sometimes the guys that dominated the possession don't actually win the game. Sometimes they do.
That happens.
So all these statistics, it doesn't matter sometimes. Sometimes we get the shockers of our lives. Well,
okay,
first half has ended. It ended with Man City having 63% of the ball possession, 37 to Arsenal. 3 goal attempts for Man City, 4 goal attempts for Arsenal. Arsenal has 2 shots on target for Man City having none on target. 2 shots off target for Man City, Arsenal 1. Corner kick, Arsenal 2, Man City 1. It seems Arsenal is getting back into the game. Well, football is a 90 minutes game. And if I will make the gaffer now one of the official octopus of Premier Sports Fan Center. So what would you predict the scoreline of this game? And don't put it in mind the booking prediction you did. Just based on what you've seen in the first half.
Based on what I've seen in the first half, you know, I always like going against all odds. Wow. I like going against all odds. And this time around, I'm going, you know, the odds against Arsenal. So I'm going for Arsenal because you know, most times odds have actually proven book right or wrong. You know, so for this very particular, apart from the odds, what I am seeing based on the field right now, I want to give it to Arsenal. Though they don't have the possession, but they have the you know the defense one. Manchester City are still trying to study the defense of Arsenal. They've not been able to break it. Though I'm not seeing that flowing style of playing from Manchester City in this very encounter today. I'm not seeing it. It's not there. They always break them at every moment. Probably if you check their, how do you call it, their seconds per ball.
Okay,
Balls per second.
Yeah, when you check it, you'll be able to read it for us. The
recovery rate.
You see that it's unlike the tradition of Manchester City. You understand what I'm saying? So that is to say, Arsenal have actually done a very great job. I don't hope that they continue into the season with what they have.
Well,
they've done a great job.
You didn't mention the score.
Okay, what's the score? Well, it's either Arsenal win 1-0.
There's no either. What is your prediction?
No. I cannot predict, but I'm only trying.
You want to sit on the
I can tell you that Arsenal will win, but I can't tell you how many goals.
Okay, Shagun.
Well, you know, we've seen a good first half, you know, game between both teams, you know. And it has actually been an evil game, no doubt. Arsenal has actually, you know, they've actually matured into the way they play their game this season. If this is what they are going to bring into the EPL next season, then, you know, we can actually look at them that they might actually have something good or something tangible to offer us next season when the season starts proper next week. So they might be in the mix again to challenge for the title. Because when you take your game, game to a team like Manchester City, and you actually held your own for 45 minutes. You have a shot on target. You are even defeating Manchester City when it comes to shot on targets in this game. It shows that the improvement is there for the Arsenal team. But don't really forget that there's no De Bruyne in this Manchester City midfield. We've not really seen that creativity spark in that middle of this Manchester City team. That is why we're yet to see Manchester City have a shot on target in the first half. Because if you have a De Bruyne in that midfield, you would have taken one or two outside shots that would have tested.
Or maybe set a very good
Ramsey
pass
at the back, or set a good pass. Because we've not really seen Alan in this game. He has been looking, isolated up front in this Manchester City team. So he needs a creative central midfielder, a creative 10 or attacking midfielder, to actually come into this game so he can unleash the powers of a player like Alan in this game. So if you're looking at Alan not really showing himself in the first half, it's due to the creativity networking that is not really gelling between him and Alvarez in this first half. So they really need to work on that. Yes, it's a quarter racer game, so it's not a big title to Pep Guardiola. But there's no small trophy to Pep Guardiola also. He always wants to win every trophy in sight. So I'll be giving it to Manchester City because you look at Manchester City bench, they have so much quality players.
You want to sit on defense too on the scoreline?
I'll give you my scoreline. Sure. Okay. This game is only 2-0 in favor of Manchester City. 2-0.
Shagun said 2-0. The gaffer sat on defense. Yeah. Well,
I hope that fence won't break.
We hope so too. We hope the foundation of defense is on the solid rock.
It's on the solid. But I predicted that Arsenal was going to win, and it is in Manchester City. But I don't know how the scores will look.
Yeah, time will reveal. Yeah. Well, it's first half already. 0-0. We'll go for a very short break. Not so long. Very short break. We'll be right back with the activities of the second half. So far, so good. It's been an entertaining game. End-to-end stuff and sweet game to watch. Well, this is really watering our appetite ahead of the next season that is about to start next week Friday. Well, just stay with us for everything you need to know concerning this coming season, during the season, and after the season. Premier Sports Fan Center will give you live commentary like this. Almost every important games of next season. You can trust us to entertain you in the world of football and other sports. Well, we'll go for a very short break. We'll be back. I'm still at the we are still here. We are coming back for the second half. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I just go to my this account to say Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about your starting 11. Now we have two starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's not about two. Let my 2 and 3 come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Nice. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Ekbenwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Arsenal versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Ekbenwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
There are two chances, just like you said. Aubameyang was clear to give him the ball that he could have scored. At least he could have given, even if he didn't score, at least give him the ball and have a chance to score. And you will always so selfish, you play the ball out, understand?
Being a Chelsea fan, I was just kind of optimistic that we'll win because we've had a very bad form this season.
Clash of the Titans between the two London rivals, Chelsea versus Arsenal. Already Man City has overtaken Arsenal on the lead of the table with 13 matches played. A win for Arsenal today, Arsenal will automatically overtake Manchester City. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Yeah. Okay. Chelsea is coming back, whether they like it or not. Once I'm not sure. I just go to my this. I see Chelsea has so many substitutes. Bench win matches. We're not talking about your starting 11. Now we have 2 starting 11. Anybody can play now. It's all about 2. Let my 2 and 3 they come back. Anybody can. Anybody will collect from Chelsea. Anybody will collect. This season may be awful, but I'm telling you.
Nice.
Well, it's football. Some of us, we live, we breathe it sometimes, ironically, and some of us is the meal we take every day. If you don't take it, the hunger will let you know. Well, it's football. It's another meal that has been discharged from the Wembley Stadium today. It's the second half just started, and it's 0-0, 46th minute of the game, Arsenal Man City. I have the guys here. We are still going to be talking about the match. I hope you enjoyed the first half. After the show, for our viewers that missed the first half, you can go and check a review of it. It was mouth-watering. The Gaffer and Shegelo dealt with the match extensively, and you would enjoy everything you see. Shego, your expectation for the second half for Arsenal?
For Arsenal?
Yes.
Wrong question.
I knew that he wouldn't be expecting Arsenal. I intentionally pushed it to him that. Yeah, I understand that he wouldn't be expecting Arsenal.
You got me there.
This is shocking. I say that's not what you want to talk about.
And there's so much comedy.
That's well done. You got me off guard. I was caught off guard, yeah. But you know, my expectations for Arsenal in the second half is they actually played a fantastic game in the first half. So coming into the second half, I expect them to actually continue from where they stopped in the first half. So you know, when they bring in this into the second half, let them actually play more of the attackers. It was a flawless first half from Arsenal.
Yeah.
You can't tell me you saw there's none of us can say we saw any flaw in this Arsenal team in the first half, except Kai Havertz, who has actually been the weakest link in the Arsenal starting 11. You know, those 2 chances he actually missed in the first half were chances he should actually be putting at the back of the net. He should be scoring those chances, and I expect there will still be more to come in the second half. And you know, you have to give that question to Arsenal that the transfer window is still up. You know, they need to get a striker, or they need to actually look at Flo Balogun. They need to actually come up with something, probably to keep Balogun or one of Balogun, or maybe Balogun and Nketiah at the club to actually play as a 9. We saw Balogun, you know, we saw what he did in the French league last season with Lyon, where he scored 21 goals or
20
so,
plus
20 plus goals last season. That's fantastic for a player who's just going on loan for in the top flight for the first time, getting that good number And you can see that is the reason why Inter Milan are there trying to get it for a good amount of money. So if you're having a Balogun on the bench, it can be another study to what's it called, to Gabriel Jesus. Or just go out and get a fantastic striker. They need a striker to actually.
But you know there's financial fair play.
Yeah,
so Arsenal has to be careful.
They have to be careful, but you know they've got the Chelsea way now. You know, trying to keep it long, put it in installment payments. So everybody's now doing that since Chelsea started. Since Chelsea taught everybody that. But the thing is, they actually need a striker. They need a focal man at that 9. Those 2 chances Havertz lost in the first half were supposed to be goals. And you don't get these chances against Manchester City every time. So that is it. They need to be clinical in front of goal against this Manchester City.
So to sum it up, Shagun said they need to be clinical in front of goal. The Gaffer, what do you think Man City should do better?
Well, Man City should do better right now in this very particular play now is, one, they need to work on their midfield. Probably De Bruyne need to come in, you know, and have that connection, because Alan is missing in action. You know, he's missing in action. I've not seen. In fact, I can count the touches Alan had in this match. So far, it's not up to 20. It's not up to 20 touches, because one, the defense of Arsenal will not allow him to do that. They have a solid defense. You understand what I'm saying? You have Timber there. You have
that was a good chance. Oh, well defended. But still in their box.
They declare Rice, and you see the back line of Arsenal defense is very solid, and they have actually.
That was a good dream before they got.
You understand? They've actually mapped out Erling Haaland out of the squad of Arsenal.
Look at how Havertz lost possession.
He lost possession, but we'll get more of that anyway. We'll get more of that. I will be used to it.
To what?
To missing from
possession.
Havertz, yeah. But do you know what I want to predict about Havertz?
I'm sure if you're on social media, if you're on Twitter right now, the abuses
Havertz will have goodness.
Will be out of the world.
Let me tell you something. Havertz is going to miss a lot of chances, but at the end of the day, he's going to be the hero of Arsenal. This is the beginning of the season. We are just starting, and I'm giving this prediction.
We've not started the season.
We've not started.
Next
Sunday we are starting.
Havertz knows how to score worthy goals. Not just one-on-one and just kick it into the net. But he knows how to score classical goals. And those classical goals are goals that you just score one and it will erase all your errors immediately. And that is what he can actually do in this game.
That's what I'm saying.
If Arsenal is going to score in this game, then they need Havertz to be clinical up front, because that's their focal man in this game.
Do you know where I agree?
And now you can see that he's deviating to Arsenal. You asked him a Manchester City question.
But we need to.
I will go back to my.
Don't go to Arsenal.
Okay, good.
Don't go. Let me continue with
Manchester City. You know, so they need a midfielder that will connect with Haaland. Haaland is missing in action.
He's missing.
You know what I'm saying? Then the normal tiki-taka play of Manchester City is not what we are seeing here today. It is
not what we are seeing from 25 minutes till now. But first to 25 minutes is what we saw.
That's what I'm trying to say. Now it is just like shoot and follow, kick and follow. Yeah, kick and pursue. You know, so that's what they are playing. The conventional style
this is actually a dangerous one for Manchester.
Conventional Manchester City style of play.
And Man City has a corner kick. Alvarez plays it in. That was a good save from Ramsdale.
That was almost going to the net.
But that was a straight header.
That's
another shot on target. That's another shot on target.
That's first shot on target.
What Manchester City?
That was a good header from Stones.
Wow.
You
have to give it to Ramsdale also. He had his ground.
Positioning.
His positioning was actually very good. Fantastic positioning from Ramsdale there.
And he didn't even bother to hold it, because if you hold those kind of ball, you can be in trouble.
No, there's no way he was holding it.
He just pushed it out.
So what Manchester City should do, it's going to be hard for them this season if they don't actually sit down and make very, very, very reasonable calculation. You understand? Now, Gundogan is out to Barcelona. You understand?
They're actually missing.
They will.
Because those shots outside.
We are still going to go on
Rehan Jimenez has gone to Saudi Arabia.
Mahrez
has gone to Saudi Arabia. You understand? And there is this rumor of Bernardo Silva.
Yesterday, actually, Man City actually came out and told PSG and Barcelona that Bernardo Silva is off limits.
No, there's no way they're selling Bernardo Silva.
Nobody that they are not leaving.
There's no way they're selling Bernardo Silva.
No, Bernardo Silva with the
you can't. They don't want to.
with the interview Guardiola.
Gundogan, Riyad Mahrez, and
there's no way they're losing Bernardo Silva.
Now with the interview granted to Guardiola granted to the press. You understand? He was talking about Saudi Arabia. Saudi buying all the players, trying to improve their league, and every player want to go there. That we cannot stop his player from going to Saudi Arabia because the money involved is massive. And it's good for them. It's good for them. Now he talked about Bernardo Silva too. That the Saudi Arabia also on him that if care is not taking it, he will go and they cannot stop him. He talked about it. So and now there's this link of Walker also to Real Madrid.
No, not Real Madrid. Bayern.
And a quick one to our viewers. We can start the banter series. So if you're an Arsenal fan, you can banter a Manchester City fan on our YouTube page. And we reel it out. Part of the sweet things about the game is the banter. You can see that the gaffer is stylishly denying Arsenal, even though we know he has a soft spot. We've seen Shegun said, you people. Meanwhile, he's referring to the fact that he's a Chelsea fan. But, banter makes the game more fun. So, you can banter on our page. We reel out your messages. It's part of the fun of the game. Let's enjoy ourselves. Well, it's not do or die. Please, we don't want offensive messages.
On that Bernardo Silva one, there's no way Pep Guardiola is going to sell Bernardo Silva. Yes, Bernardo wants to leave from Barcelona. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But it needs, Pep Guardiola also needs to come out and clear the airs. It's a PR work. We need to clear the air and let him know that, okay, there's no problem if you want to leave. As far as they are meeting our demand, that's it. You are not a sellable player, but we are not closing ourselves to selling you. Even meeting.
No, the news that came out yesterday was like Man City is not ready to sell.
They are
not
even
ready to negotiate.
That is because it doesn't have a sell on.
It's off limit.
So if he wants to leave, and talking about the Saudi Arabia, it's not all players that are enticed with the money at Saudi Arabia. We saw them trying to come out for Kylian Mbappe with a kind of offer, tempting offer that no player will reject. Surprisingly, Kylian Mbappe actually rejected that. So there are some players who fancy their career. And
there's a rumor this week that Kylian is open to spending one season at Chelsea as a Chelsea faithful.
Not just Chelsea alone.
What do you think?
Not just Chelsea alone. There's Arsenal in that in the mix. There's Liverpool in the mix.
Just
I'm always scared about Liverpool. Yeah, it's going to be a loan. It's going to be a loan because Manchester and what's it called? PSG are actually putting him on the kind of deal that they want him out this season. And they don't
want to sell him for free.
They don't want to sell him for free because he has one more season. And I think I want to blame PSG for whatever position they find themselves right now because last season was the time they were supposed to
not just last season. Last season he was out of contract. But the season before, he
signed 1 year deal at the end of the last season.
He signed 2 years deal, option of adding another one.
So they should have sold him when it was high for them. They got 180 million pounds, and right now the young man, a lot of money involved. He'll be the one owning his sign-on fee. He'll be the one getting this transfer fee. You look at how much it's going to cost Real Madrid to actually get Haaland. You're talking about over 100 million pounds. Kylian Mbappe, sorry. And he owns that money, not like the money is going to the club. So that is a lot of money. We could see the suspension from PSG. They are suspecting that he has an agreement with Real Madrid. Yes, all of us knows that he has an agreement with Perez. He has that. Florentino Perez, that is a Real Madrid president. Chairman. Is actually a mafia because those kind of deals are not new to him. You look at the way he got Figo from Barcelona. If you follow that deal, you know that someone that can get a player, from his closest rival in a controversial way. So there's nothing. Then you can see him. He has been quiet all this while over this Mbappe.
He just does it.
He just do it like they are not interested. They are not coming out. Even PSG are trying to force them. Doing more PR. I'm even seeing the Chelsea talk, Liverpool, and Arsenal talk as more of PR. Just trying to get Real Madrid attention to come out. But each time they're doing that PR work, Mbappe has actually been, denying it and keeping them at breath that he's not leaving PSG for nothing. He's not leaving PSG this season.
And there's a substitution in the game Foden coming in for Jack Grealish.
And this is a player I actually want to see play more for Manchester City.
Yeah, he's a fantastic
midfielder.
You know, we are talking about the midfield being absent in this game, and Guardiola have actually seen it, and he's bringing in Foden to come and support. Probably there will be good connection, good flow of football.
We didn't see much from Grealish in the first half. You know, that's not the Grealish we've always known. Although it's the first game this season, you look at Manchester City, they didn't have much preseason games. I think they played just 3 or 4 matches during preseason, so they didn't really have much games to get into fitness level during the preseason. And that match fitness is actually showing off in this Manchester City team. So you know, the better they start performing very well right now, that is how much it will be better for them, because you know the game against Burnley this on Friday is actually going to be a tough cracker for them. Though they defeated Burnley in the FA Cup is it FA Cup or Carabao? One of the two. They defeated them 5-0 last season, but you know last season is different from this season. It's a different ball game. So you know they really need to offer something new, because if they are losing this game to Arsenal, they be sure that their first 5 games teams will come into that game, you know, without much respect
for them. But you can actually announce that respect back when you go with when you disrespect your senior. When you disrespect your senior and they end up beating the daylight out of you, you have to be forced to show some respect. And the Gaffer, what do you think Guardiola was looking at bringing in Foden into this match?
Of course, he's bringing in because it's like the midfield of the Manchester City has collapsed. And there's no connection between the midfielders and the attackers. You understand? So he needs to support that midfield.
But Foden is more or less like a one-on-one take-on player.
Yeah, he can
play as a midfielder also.
He can play as a midfielder.
Yeah, he can play as a midfielder. We don't know what you want to use him for. But we know that with the presence of Foden, there will be connection between there will be a connection between Foden and Erling Haaland, and there will be a connection between Foden and Foden himself can even score because he's a good scorer, and he can also move with ball one-on-one. You know, I think that is what we talked about it before.
And the referee today is Hartswell. And let's go to the referees. Shego, realistically, people do say English referees have a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, no doubt.
What are your expectations for the English officiating ministers for this committee?
There's one thing that is always certain about the English referees. They are always controversial. And they will always be in the news coming season or season out. So I'm not expecting anything less from them. It's more about controversy. We've seen this referee in this game also. You know, this is just the first game I've seen him, you know, garnish out a lot of yellow cards in this game, questionable ones. And we've covered the Female World Cup here. We've seen how top-notch it is, and how excellent the referees, you know, decisions are at the World Cup. So it's one thing, you know, I really see it as a way that the English referees just like being in the news, and you know they have to give the media something to talk about. Probably that's why they are always more controversial in their decisions.
And you know, there's no such thing as bad publicity, actually.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
So when you talk about it, the English game, I noticed that sometimes it thrives on controversy.
And that's what the English media is actually built on. You know, why do you think they love having a manager like what's it called? Jose Mourinho around? Why do you think they love having a manager like what's it called? Conte around? Because they know they can get into their head and get the headlines and, you know, sell the paper the next morning. That is it. The English media is actually built on controversies.
Yeah, the English media, how you approach it actually.
You know, talking about the controversy, you know, like when we are talking about the Female World Cup, we also talk about some of the new rules. We don't know how true it is. Probably in the English football is going to be introduced that any controversial moment, a player come and surround.
I think they rejected that.
Yeah. They rejected that.
That is not happening.
So let's watch and see if it's going to happen. But I don't know why.
It's not happening in England.
Because I don't know why the referee he find it so easy to issue out yellow card, even though it's not yellow card offensive.
It has not reduced the audience, the enthusiasm, the passion. And Arsenal in the box with Martinelli. Pass the ball out to. That was.
Who is that?
blasted over the bar from
that player in this game. You know.
But he has been part of the solid guys for Arsenal defensively.
No, that's but the attacking threat we don't say of him at West Ham. It has been not so existent. Wow, is that Haaland going out for Cole Palmer? You can see
Haaland being withdrawn for Cole Palmer.
And the brother is also coming in. So we have Alvarez who will be moving to kind of what's called Izagi kind of striker. Because when you least expect him to actually move around you, that's when Haaland actually finds a way to leave. So it's more dangerous to me than Haaland, because Haaland is more recognized. Everybody knows they have to keep an eye on Haaland. So that is the difference between Haaland and Alvarez. And I won't be surprised if Alvarez gets a go here.
Yeah, Shagun is trying to say Alvarez is the silent killer. Haaland is the go-to man that people look up to and say, this is the danger man. Well, we still have 31 minutes to the end of the regulation time. But 30 minutes is a lot of time to play. And Arsenal has a corner kick. The first one was played and well defended, and resulting to another corner kick. So far, so good. The game has been balanced. We've seen some substitution. Palmer came in from Haaland.
Stats.
Palmer came in for Haaland.
That was close one from the Arsenal players there.
Yeah. Palmer came in for Haaland. De Bruyne came in for Kovacic. And Foden came in for Jack Grealish. And Arsenal has not made any substitute so far. And looking at this game, if you look at what has been happening in the second half so far, are you not picturing if this game is going to go to penalty kicks?
Yeah, I think it's after 90 minutes straight to penalty.
Yeah, straight to penalty.
From this sheet.
Yeah.
We're approaching the 66th minute already. That is about 20 minutes, or if I'm not mistaken, 25 minutes to go. Yeah. It's looking like it's still a balanced game. It will take a miracle or something, an offset for a goal to happen here, because both teams are actually balanced. I'm already thinking of a penalty shootout in this game already, but this is Manchester City, and when you are the champions of Europe, we saw what happened in the Champions League final. It took just one, brilliance to get that from Rodri to get that one goal, and that is what Manchester City can actually bring into the game. But I don't want to take anything away from this Arsenal team also, because when you have a player like Havertz up front, even though he misses a lot of chances, he can actually bring that, one magical moment. And get into a goal.
But a lot of times last season, he couldn't work out that magic moment for Chelsea.
Any of these two teams that gets the opening goal, takes this game. It's looking like a game that is 1-0.
1-0 game, right?
You see, talking about this FA Cup, you talk about at the end of FA Community Shield, Community Shield. You talked about penalties, that this tournament, this cup has actually changed for so many times. Those days it was the winner of League One, FA, changed to a winner of Championship, FA, and it has been changing. And I think there was a point whereby at the end of the match, if it's a draw, they share the trophy. Yeah. The both of them lift the trophy. Yeah. But if there's going to play penalty,
no, it's not a penalty.
It's going to right from around 2009.
Oh, what a miss!
Around 2005.
Is it 2005 or late 90s?
Yeah, that
they started playing penalties.
So they started playing penalties.
So either they like it or not, there'll be a winner today. Yeah. So we hope that the winner is well deserved, because sometimes when you watch some games that
when you say well deserved, yeah. What do you mean by well deserved?
What I mean by well deserved is well deserved.
Okay.
Chelsea is trying to play.
Continue being a politician.
No, I'm not a politician. My job here is to create the conversation and to try to spice it up a little bit. What will be our jollof rice without those special maggi? And those salt.
It will be Ghana jollof rice.
And to garnish it.
Ghana jollof rice.
Or Nigerian jollof. There's a competition on that too. Maybe we might host a program on that, but I don't know. Where the producers will talk about that. Nice and is the 67th minute of the game. Still new Arsenal Man City. Well, we spoke about jollof. You can't suit me to show. Well, I'm not a glutton, but it's a beautiful game.
It's a beautiful game.
So far, the substitution of Guardiola, have you seen any impact so far?
Of course, the substitution Guardiola made, I think it has brought a little balance to Manchester City right now. Because now, if you look at the possession, the possession of Manchester City is gradually increasing. They have been the one holding the ball, trying to create chances, and the Arsenal just try to follow and get the ball and counter. You know, the introduction of Foden has actually changed the pattern of the game. Gradually, they are gradually playing the tiki-taka pattern of Manchester City, we know, but it's not a full-blown tiki-taka yet, because they are not getting it. The accuracy we know in Manchester City, the clinical being in front of goal.
And that is Foden would have been the first goal for Manchester City.
Oh, that was deflected well by Timbers.
Palmer, that was a nice
shot by
Palmer. But I think Foden should be taking that shot. He had the middle of the box, already very much open for him there.
But he was in the right position, and he's a left-footed player.
He was in the right position, and if you see the way he positions his hand,
it's better to set the pass.
If the ball comes to his hand, you say it's in a natural position because his hand is in a natural. So we give it to the tournament, and talking about this community shield. It has been one of the oldest competition. Playing it in
it's 108.
No. FA Cup is the oldest.
FA Cup is the oldest, but I think this is the 108 or thereabouts.
Yeah. So bringing it to Wembley Stadium is a welcome development where you have up to 90,000.
It's been in Wembley Stadium for a few years now.
90,000 capacity stadium, the biggest in England, and even in
No, I think very soon Old Trafford might be more than that. Because Old Trafford has...
it's under construction.
Straight to the Manchester City, new formation. Now you can see Bernardo Silva is more about playing in the midfield. Foden has been playing in the wing, and what's it called? And Palmer has also replaced Bernardo Silva on the wing. So we've seen Bernardo Silva shift more centrally in this game, which is actually very much good for them. We've seen how much they've actually improved for the past 5 minutes of this game. And it's actually good because they are right now attacking Manchester Arsenal. I just hope at the end of this game, Arsenal will actually reel the misses of Havertz in this game, because we've seen Manchester City knocking on the Arsenal doors. They've been doing more of the callings to try and get that opening goal in this game. And let's see what is going to happen, and that is Arsenal the counter, and Havertz trying to run through the line.
Yeah. But Kai Havertz is not that kind of player that can really pace them.
Yeah, he's the type of.
It's not like Mudryk that's like Jinsheng.
Well, Kai Havertz is more of a Ferrari kind of player, just clicky and.
A lot of people will be asking where is Gabriel Jesus. He's actually having knee injury. Apart from him, Balogun Falari is also having ankle injury. Elneny is having knock. Gabriel Jesus is having knee injury. Jorginho is having muscle injury. Lukonga is having muscle injury too. Nelson is having toe injury. Then Zinchenko is having calf injury. Those are
Zinchenko that played yesterday.
He's having calf injury.
He played yesterday in Ukraine for whatever game.
Yes, he's having calf injury. He's having calf injury.
And even Nathan Ake is injured.
If you're talking about Falari on his deal to him wanting to leave Arsenal, he hasn't really been training with the Arsenal main team since the preseason. So I don't think it's more of injury. It's more of just trying to take him out, take him away from the team, because his head is not right in that Arsenal squad. He also wants to leave Arsenal, and Arsenal also interested in selling him. But we've seen of recent where he said he's actually giving Arsenal the kind of Modric treatment Modric gave to Xhaka to the extent that Arsenal fans were actually appreciating, and they were so praising Modric for. That is what he's actually giving Arsenal right now, that they are actually overpricing him. They need to reduce the transfer fee so that Inter Milan can actually pay for him.
Yeah.
And I think the Arsenal board are so much angered by that outburst from Volarin Balogun.
All these things, when it favors you, you smile.
Last season they were so much interested, they were so much happy.
But they didn't later get the player.
Was praised. You have to actually appreciate the maturity from Xhaka. They stood their ground that this is the amount we want, and they got the amount they wanted from Chelsea.
Not from Arsenal.
Not from Arsenal. Arsenal actually gave them the total package of same amount Chelsea gave them, but it was about being realistic. You don't give you are not an Arsenal as an Arsenal club. You don't give a team like Xhaka
I think Arsenal offer was 5 million short.
If it's okay, 5 million
5
shots,
million short.
no problem.
Yeah.
But it ends on that realistic add-ons. Arsenal shouldn't have gone to Shakhtar Donetsk with an add-on that should they win Champions League. No, about.
They've never won it before.
It's something you've never won.
Even if Chelsea went to that with that kind of add-ons, they know they're okay.
So Chelsea gave them realistic add-ons. That is the difference between the deal Chelsea offered on what's it called? Shakhtar Donetsk. The first payment Chelsea paid is actually way lower than what Arsenal offered. If Chelsea made a deposit, the main payment is initial deposit is around 70 to 80 million pounds. That's the normal deal. But the add-ons were realistic. But it's not even looking realistic for Chelsea right now because we don't really know when Chelsea is going to come back to the Champions League. Talkless of winning the Champions League.
Nobody knows tomorrow. Like some people will say. But some of us knows tomorrow.
I expect you to
and tomorrow is actually Monday. So some of us know tomorrow.
Okay, that is the kind of
well, you can join us tomorrow, Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. We'll be live here talking about England, Nigeria match. Super Falcons. I know a lot of Nigerians and English Britons will be looking forward to that match. I'll be here live talking about it. You don't want to miss it. It will be
the Japa Derby.
Yeah, the Japa Derby. Oh my goodness. So
it has really been for Africans in this Women's World Cup.
Yeah.
The second round has really been Colonial Masters versus their subjects.
Yeah.
France versus Morocco.
Yeah.
Morocco were colonized by France.
Netherlands
versus South Africa.
Yeah, Netherlands
has a stake
and
in
they
South
colonized
Africa.
them too. In
Nigeria versus England. Colonial master versus subjects.
Yeah.
So it has really been subject versus their masters. So let us see how much if the colonial masters are still going to recolonize that subject on the field.
But South Africa has been recolonized,
Yeah.
Nigeria actually have an advantage over England when you look at the head-to-head rule.
Yeah.
Because we've actually won 2 against England. England has only won 1 against Nigeria.
And if you look at it,
head-to-head rule actually favors
if Nigeria can keep it cool, if you could hold Canada at bay, it's possible we hold England.
Okay, back to the game.
But realistically, well, you want to continue hearing this conversation? Join us tomorrow. It's going to be a match-watching one. 76th minute of the game, Man City, Arsenal, Man City. Well, better side second half for you, Shegun.
Yeah, better side in the second half. It has actually been 50-50 to me in the second half.
Balanced.
It has been balanced, Like the first half, it has been a balanced game by both teams. I will actually be partial if I'm picking one of these two teams as actually as the better team in the second half. They've actually gave us, something beautiful to cheer, and that's Manchester City who are trying to attack.
Wow! From the substitute, Cole Palmer. Wow! A cutting from the right hand side of the wing and bend it. Ramsey had no answer. God! He had no answer.
You know my major problem with Pep Guardiola? When you score a worldie goal, he actually makes it what have you done?
But that's the beauty.
See the attack movement. See that movement from the Arsenal.
See the Manchester City from Foden.
From Foden. Yeah. And that is what Foden actually brings to the game. Wow, good movement from him. And that's you have to ask Arsenal the
De Bruyne, look at that head of an assist.
Where was the Arsenal?
De Bruyne can assist. No, you see, when De Bruyne
who was celebrating?
Oh my goodness.
What?
Ramsey had no chance.
That is a worldie goal. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
No keeper in this world was actually going to save that.
Out of this world.
That was a worldie goal from
Man City 1, Arsenal 0. So far so good at the Wembley. Oh, super sub we call that.
And you can see De Bruyne.
You know the funny thing about the goal? Sub to sub, assisting sub getting the goal. What a brilliant one from Guardiola.
A lot of people.
Arsenal fans will actually be beating themselves right now because they'll feel like they were let down in this game by Kyle Havertz, who should have scored those goals. This is one of the 2 chances that Manchester City.
You can welcome them to the book of lamentation. Chelsea fans
was
doing last season. Welcome Arsenal.
I never lamented the way into Chelsea because I never supported Chelsea last season.
So you didn't lament the Kyle Albert Smith.
We were here last season.
You did not lament.
I was always smiling if Chelsea was close.
But another person that is not lamenting is De Bruyne. Actually, when he wakes up, if his wife greet him, he should be, how can I assist you? How may I assist you? You know, he's an assist king. That assist was with the head.
Yeah, with the head. Yeah.
He can assist with any
he
part
actually
of his
stopped
body.
that. You know, we were talking about the changes before they brought, and De Bruyne also introduced. They changed the midfield of, and it is actually paying off for them. They gradually go back to the traditional way of playing.
And knowing that this folding came from their youth system.
Even Cole Palmer was from their youth system. You could look at it, he has been giving that young man, you know, the chance for the past 2 seasons. He has been an integral part of this team. You know, he has grown into the team. That's why it was easy for him to actually sell a player like Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah.
Last season, towards the end of last season, even when they were pushing for the league, there were times he started Cole Palmer ahead of Riyad Mahrez. So that is it. That he sees the potential in this young man. And he hasn't let Pep Guardiola down.
Yeah.
He has actually, utilized his chances, and that is what really matters a lot in football. And I'm very sure by the time the season is starting proper, he will be a threat for the starting for a starting shirt.
Yeah, what is sure right now is Man City is leading 1 goal to nil at the 80th minute of the game. Now, the gaffer, you are itching to say something, and I'll put it to you that you are an Arsenal fan in the pipeline, in the closet, maybe in your room. Without telling anybody.
Hold on. Before you start mocking me,
I'm not
the
mocking
game has
you.
not ended yet.
No.
And there is still hope.
You see, that's what an Arsenal fan will say. Now, what do you think Arteta should be doing to tweak things in this match for them to come back?
That's looking like
Declan Rice has been substituted.
They actually walked in this midfield today. He has done a lot of running. That is the KT coming up front start for Arsenal. And now they're going back to that midfield.
Number one, just
and one striker.
And you have to give it to Partey.
Yeah, he has actually
the job of 2 men, he did it very well for more than half of the season last season.
Oh, that was it was even Declan Rice that was falling there from that.
Yeah, he has to fall.
Wow.
He has to.
The
That was a beauty.
I was trying to say, ordinarily, when Erling Haaland was brought out by Guardiola, a lot of footballers were saying, why Erling Haaland, and he brought in, Erling Haaland was missing in action. And Guardiola being a very good coach, introduced Foden and removed Haaland, brought in Palmer, you understand what I'm saying, to replace him. And he got the goal, he needed goal. You know what I'm saying? So that's to tell you how good Guardiola is when it comes to coaching.
When I was talking about being dangerous and you being slicky up front, that was why I was saying I was more scared of Alvarez up front than Haaland. Haaland is more of a direct striker, you know. Put his face to the ball, give him the ball, he's ready to shoot. But when you have Alvarez, who has a good hold-up play, and Alvarez with the ball creates a lot of chances and opportunities for you. That's why it's easy for Alvarez to start this game as the attacking midfielder. And when Haaland is going out, he moves to the striker position, opening that third slot for De Bruyne. And we saw Bernardo Silva also coming back to the midfield, which has actually worked for this Arsenal team. You look at the first half, they've actually worked on.
Oh, that was a good run for Alvarez.
They've actually
worked. What can you do with it? Just to pace. That was a good save.
Are you sure that is not an offside here?
Let's check.
And that's my problem. This is where I have problem with Foden. You look at the hold-up play. I was just talking about Alvarez hold-up play, and look at that fantastic work from Alvarez. That was not offside.
That was onside.
He should be scoring that. This is one of.
That was a good save from.
This is one of the reasons why Foden is not starting for Manchester City, because he loses lot of chances. There are times you see you expect him to actually score. It needs to work on his final decision making. He needs to work on his finishing, because that is what is actually lacking.
Well, it would have been 2-0 by the 83rd minute of the game. That was a good corner, well saved by Ramsey.
My prediction to life.
Yeah, 2-0.
So we still have 7 minutes to go, and
the gaffer sat on defense.
No. I said Arsenal is going to win, either by penalty or by any crook.
By rook or by.
No, I'm not on the fence. I'm still saying Arsenal.
No.
Arsenal is going to win this match.
Oh, okay.
We still having 8 minutes. It's not over yet. It's not over. See my confidence. Don't worry.
Yeah, Mary Olugbole said, no matter what, we stand with the Gunners. Are you still standing? Well, Sometimes your standing can be by word or not by
just watch.
Yeah, you see, when I said the gaffer is an Arsenal fan, you can see what I'm saying. He's so enthusiastic about Arsenal coming back into this game. It's the 84th minute of the game. Well, can Arsenal come back, the gaffer?
Of course they can come back. We still have how many minutes left. This we still have 6 minutes to play, and I'm very sure the referee is going to add like 4 minutes or 3 minutes.
Or 5.
So they have that time.
10 minutes.
It's just 1-0.
Do you see Arsenal?
It's just 1-0, so it's still
I see that's what I'm saying now. Arsenal is coming back. They are coming back. Let's watch.
It's still 1-0. It's still 1. I'm talking right now. It's still 1-0, so it's still an open game between both teams. If Foden had scored that goal, probably would have been on the side. It's a close shot, and I just hope that that chance Foden actually missed won't come back to haunt this team.
Like Albert.
And right now you can see Albert is back in the midfield and trying to connect 1 or 2 for Arsenal in the midfield. While Eddie Nketiah is actually playing as a low man striker out front. I'm very sure this was the pattern Arsenal will actually be picking up next year when the season starts proper. Let's see. 5 minutes or 6 minutes is still a lot of time to play in the EPL or in a game of football. But you are playing against Manchester City. This is a team that it takes them just one chance, just like I predicted about the Champions League final. They just got that just that one chance, and they turned it into goal, and that's what we've seen in this game also. Just one opportunity, and it ended up at the back of the net. So that is the difference between you being a champion and you being a challenger, and you being you not. Oh God, next season is actually going to be interesting. I can't wait.
There's every season in the Premier League is always interesting.
I can't wait for next season to start.
Yeah, well,
wow, it was
Man City is still leading. That was a good header from Rodri.
He was almost caught on notice there. That was a good save from Ramsdale. That was a fantastic save from Ramsdale.
And Shegun, if you look at this game, you want Arsenal to come back in. What do you? If you are the coach, you are Arteta right now. What would you do to track things?
Yeah, you already tracked things the way you're supposed to do it already. Bringing Eddie Nketiah in. But I expected that substitutions to have actually happened earlier on, around the 60th minute or when the second half was starting. That was when I expected that substitution from him. Nketiah is actually a fantastic striker, no doubt, on his own day. But this is Manchester City you're facing. You have, like I said, I just hope that chances they miss in the first half won't come back to haunt them. And right now it's looking like something that is coming back to haunt them because you don't get those chances against Manchester City every time. And when you lose those chances, and you look at Manchester City just got 2 chances, and out of that 2, they utilized 1. That's
do you know the funniest thing?
You being a champion.
When we talk about the Japan-Spain game,
wow.
If we go back to it, you saw how Spain was playing possession-based, but Japan created 5 chances and scored 4.
It's only just that game. You don't watch the second round game against Switzerland.
So clinical. I think that thing we should be watching them. They can win the tournament.
They are very good. I think we said it this morning. They are looking like the very best team right now.
Yeah, right now too. They are playing like men's team. They are not playing like women's team.
That team, they have a lot of energy to actually burn. That squad is a fantastic squad. Talking about the Manchester City, talking about the Japanese.
You see us talking about the women's football. We are trying to tell you that we talk about it. Just join us on one of our live feeds from the Women's FIFA World Cup.
That is all that's Smith Rowe coming in from that. Albert is actually going out.
And Albert too is out for Vieira. Vieira
is actually a player that doesn't live up to expectations. After that big money move from I think FC Porto last season, he hasn't really lived up to that expectation that everybody expects from him.
Maybe the second season, like Grealish. Let's just give him the hope.
But if Arsenal lose this game, if Arsenal should lose this game, there will be a lot of pressure on Kyle Havertz. He needs to actually.
Not just Kyle Havertz, there will be a lot of pressure on Arteta.
No, I don't really see pressure on Arteta because Arsenal will give him that time.
Are you saying that fuck guy?
It's not about accept for your boss. Arsenal is not that club that puts pressure on the manager. It's not like a team like Chelsea.
Yeah. That explains why they've not won the Champions League. To me, maybe. Maybe.
But you look at Manchester City also, they give Pep Guardiola the maximum time he actually needed, and it paid off after.
No, do you know that what they gave him at Man City was just the first season?
Wow, that's
the second season.
What's Palmer doing there?
Trying to waste the time. Actually, They are in the 89th minute of the game, actually, for our listeners, and it's still new. Man City leading 1-0. Sorry, Man City fans. You are leading 1-0. Arsenal fans would have loved that new, but well, some people are brushing their faces. Maybe the Arsenal fans, we don't know. Maybe
there's what you always say. If every manager is a problem for Pep Guardiola, Pep Guardiola has 99 problem. You know, beating Arteta is not one of it.
It's very easy.
He knows how to beat.
You know how to beat your boy.
He knows how to beat Arsenal.
He knows how to
beat Arsenal. He has always find it easier against Arsenal, and this is one of it we are seeing. You know.
And can you say, that was a back pass to De Bruyne. What
you don't do that. You don't do that with De Bruyne. You don't do that with De Bruyne.
You don't do that. They can punish you. If not for the brilliance of Partey there can be more to it.
There'll be more to that.
Yeah. Well, the game is actually biting hard. We see, even without mosquito.
That should be a yellow card.
Wow. Even without mosquito, people, even without being the last man, you are raising your hand as if you are raising the flag. But anything can happen in football. It's the passion that we talk about. We love the game. Sometimes we react in different ways. But that doesn't change the scoreline. 90th minute of the game, Arsenal down 1-0 at Wembley.
I think
Shagun, do you see them coming back?
Well, I don't really see any coming back. This is not female football. We should be seeing at the 4 minutes additional time at the end of this game.
Not 11-12.
No, not 11-12. We should be seeing 4 minutes because there's what you can't offer for the past 90 minutes. I don't see you offering it in the closing embers of the game. They've actually given a good account of themselves, but it's still the same problem of last season. See, should Arsenal win 30 games next season, Manchester City is going to win 34 matches.
34, yeah.
So that is it. When it matters most, Manchester City is going to out them.
Last
season, I was saying here in the studio, Arsenal have done more than enough to win the league last season, but they were just unfortunate. They were just unfortunate to have a Manchester City at their back. Even when Manchester City were at second position, even when they were 5 to 6 points behind Arsenal, they were winning games. Keeping those games and winning it. Mounting a lot of pressure on Arsenal until it materialized. And
some Arsenal fans are excited that there's 8 minutes to play.
Wow.
But meanwhile, you can actually get one more, making it 2.
And
Arsenal can also come back into
that is the negative side. You are talking about the negative side.
Why is it negative? Because they are an Arsenal fan. But for a Man City fan, it's going to be positive. So it depends on how you see it.
Depends on which angle you are coming from.
I'm not coming from any angle.
I don't really see the point of adding 8 minutes into this.
There was no injury.
There's no injury.
I think this season Premier League will be adding
a lot of time for
celebration out of play. Because they noticed that last season a lot of time was spent out of play, and it's not worth it.
People should not celebrate.
No, you celebrate, but it will be added to the extra time. No time for celebration time wasting again, and substitution too, and which is good for football. We see more of the game in play. A lot of times we see the game off play where a player will sleep and injury time and all those things. Now we see it in play. 8 minutes additional time. So far we are in the 2nd minutes of additional time. Arsenal trying to take the ball to Man City. Man City holding them up in their final third.
I think the pressure is on Manchester City right now, and probably someone might be right, and Arsenal might get one of those late goals in this game that might actually take this game into the penalties. And let's see, that's a close off Arsenal. That is Vieira there. And let's see what's going to offer. That is another for Arsenal. And Manchester City are back with the ball, and they just kicked out for safety.
Wow. 2 players down, Walker and I think Partey is down. That was a head collision. That was a head collision. The medical staff will actually attend to them. And this time their wasting will also be extended to the extra time. So we might be seeing more than 8 minutes. So when you see more than 8 minutes in this game, don't be surprised. It's just some of the new rules that has been padded into the game. Well, there will be an addition, maybe TalkSport, that will actually let you know more about the rules that are being infused, so that you don't feel like you are ousted and the knowledge of the game. That was a beauty.
You don't go out to argue blindly.
Yeah, argue blindly.
Fans like, oh, why this?
So that's why they have to stick with us. You keep watching.
We need to explain the
new rules. We'll have a show like that. We'll dedicate it to
That was a good goal from Palmer.
That was a beauty.
You can see the senior players. And you can see how happy Bernardo Silva is. No, that's like Kai Walker. He wasn't the one who scored, but you can see how happy he is.
That's a beauty.
That was a beauty. And you can see Pep Guardiola himself, feeling the fury of that goal. Beautiful goal. Classical goal.
No, that's the kind of goal that you want to win competition.
How do you classify this trophy? Is it the first trophy of the season?
Yeah, it's the first trophy.
Or the last of the season?
It's the first of the season.
It opens the season.
No, it's the first of the season.
I don't really count competition.
You might not count it, but it's counted. So we have to count it since it's counted. Because even us now, we count Emirates Cup. Wow. It's part of the trophies that they have in their cabinet. Well, some clubs are counting champions.
You're supposed to be objective on this program.
I'm being objective.
And you're throwing bans at us now. Is not.
No. There's no bans here. Are they not counting it? Is there no trophy?
Who won the community shield?
So where's the
ban? If you ask the question, if you ask who won the community shield, the person that won.
Yeah, who won the Emirates Cup? It's Arsenal.
Call it,
yeah, that's how it is. Well, it's the 5th minute of additional time. Man City still leading 1-0. 2 players are down.
Is Pep Guardiola teaching the Arsenal guys, teaching the Arsenal bench how to actually...
maybe he's talking to the fourth official. Oh, bandage on the head like that.
The 2 players,
Yeah. Turning them to Alaji overnight.
That means this game will be getting into 10th or 12th minutes because of the
maybe 15. Maybe 15. Some Arsenal fans will even want 20.
They've actually wasted like 2 minutes.
Yeah, some Arsenal fans will want 20.
That's head injury. That head collision happened around.
While we are talking here, some of our viewers will be nodding their head that they want 25. But no matter what,
even if you add 30 minutes to this game, I don't really see.
I think Man City will take.
If a goal is coming in this game, it's actually going to be Manchester City getting the second goal.
Well, Shegun said that for Arsenal fans. Who to come out for is Shegun. Well, the gaffer. Looking at the game, I know you have a soft spot for Arsenal. Yeah. If you are Arteta right now, what would you do?
Well, if I'm Arteta right now, what I would do is to... he has already done what he's supposed to do, strengthen the attack. He brought in Nketiah. Some people call him Nketiah. That is the Igbo people, meaning a dog that knows how to run and score goal. Probably he's going to bring that in and try to open the defense of the Manchester City. That is one thing he has done. And you see, Partey.
A large party.
Partey, which was one of the defenders, you can see him overlapping, trying to score goals, trying to tell you that the urgency that is attached. But sometimes I don't like it when you come to this kind of dying moment, you begin to add fire brigade approach. You have all the 90 minutes to yourself. What have you done with it? You know what I'm saying? You have all the 90 minutes. What have you done with it? Is it at the dying minutes now you begin to put all the fire brigade approach to score?
This 1-0 against Manchester City is actually a good one for us now.
Not bad.
It's not bad for them because you look at the caliber of team they're actually playing with. At Manchester City, that is a big problem for any team in APL. We know how much they defeated a lot of teams in APL last season, and this might actually be a morale booster for Arsenal because they'll look at it like they had the chances of winning this game in the first half. They had the chances
from Carava.
2 clear chances in the first half, but they didn't take their chance, and that is one of the chances they will actually rue at the end of this game. Because that winning this game will actually give them a big morale booster going into the next season. It's a big morale booster when you beat the defending champion, and not just the defending champion. You're talking about European champions here. I think that's a play on that. There's no collision there. I think.
Sometimes it's not always like that. Liverpool won last season, and look at how shambolic their season was. So sometimes it depends on your approach to things. But hey, that's a pass. Well cleared off the Man City defense.
It's always going to be caught by the Manchester City defense.
Yeah, you can see even the fans easing and
already. Let's see how much minute the ref is going to add to this game for time wasted.
I'm sure they need up to 4 minutes.
And I think some of the Arsenal fans in the Wembley are already leaving already.
Yeah, you have to make their way home, It's a crowded place. You have a lot of fans, about 90,000 fans. We were at the Mobalaji Johnson Arena Stadium that was even just less than 10,000 spectators. And we knew how it was hard for us to get out of the stadium, talking of a 90,000 capacity.
It's 90,000. But you know what interesting thing about that Mobalaji match? Even after the match, fans don't want to go.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it because the entertainment was so
Yeah,
massive.
not just entertainment. Some people want to relate.
Yeah, people want to relate.
Yeah.
Get some cash from fishes.
What do you mean by fishes? You have to explain on her. Because what do you mean by fishes, the gaffer?
We leave that for another day.
We leave that for another day.
Arsenal is about to equalize now.
They are about to equalize, but the boys played in the midfield. For our viewers, don't forget to subscribe. It's very important that you subscribe so that you can get a notification whenever we come up to talk about the beautiful game. And it's we are in the 9th minute of additional time. And we don't know how many minutes, maybe as the spirit leads for the referee. Well, we don't know, but Arsenal fans, we want it to be like 30 minutes more.
That's a good one for Arsenal.
And Saka, what can he do? Oh, that was well defended. I think Saka should be playing that ball once.
Yeah, he should have tried taking a shot there because that would have been a better option for him. It was clear in front of the goal. I think a shot on target there would have actually,
been a better
than that pass to Fabio Vera there.
Yeah. That's confidence play from Saliba.
We are approaching the 100th minute. Like I do say it, we are approaching the 10th minute of 8-minute additional time.
Yeah.
And don't forget, it's always a minimum of not maximum.
Yeah, it's minimum of.
This match should be ended.
It's at least
in 102 minutes because I expected them to add up to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not trying to drag one or two in this midfield, and they've actually come alive in the dying minutes of the game.
Trying to take the ball. They've just won the corner. Ben White won the corner kick for Arsenal. Let's see, playing it off Phil Foden. And if Arsenal can come back into this game, we'll be seeing a penalty shootout. But if not, Man City will be taking the trophy.
There's one thing I do praise footballers for. It's not always easy when you play in front of crowd. 90,000 fans, loud fans, loud noise, and the pressure is not there,
But do you know the beauty? The beauty of it is that just play assuming the crowd doesn't exist. If you pay attention to the crowd, you will make silly mistakes.
Yeah, when you go to noisy stadiums like Anfield is one of the noisiest stadiums.
And that's why you have to close your ears to the crowd.
They say Arsenal.
Or else.
Wow, that's a nice one. Can he bend it in?
I said it!
You cannot see that thing.
I said it!
The gaffer is Arsenal fan.
Trossard is taking this into penalty. Deflection, wicked deflection off Akonji there. Wow.
Yes, when I speak in the spirit, you listen. I said it. That is a clean goal. A deflection, that's a deflection, and it's very difficult for the goalkeeper to catch that. Hey, look at it.
That's a nice one. That's a nice pass from
Trossard.
Wow.
Look at that deflection.
That was double deflection.
That was a wicked deflection.
That was double deflection. Came off Alvarez first to Akanji.
Wow. That's a wicked.
I can see you take out that one. Wow. That was a good one. It's a sweet one anyway.
First deflection,
straight into penalty shootout. There's no anything to add to it.
Ortega could not do anything.
Even though Arsenal lose now, I think I'm happy because at least they have very equalized.
Wow, you see how happy. You can see how happy.
Where is he running to? He didn't even know where he's going.
Well, the game is now 1-1. 101st minute of the game. 11th minute of. We are now in the 12th minute of additional time. 1-1, Arsenal 1, Man City 1. Well, some bookies will be playing.
This should be the last action of the game, Let's see what if Akanji can get a goal off that. When Kevin De Bruyne takes a free kick, it's always a threat.
It's always a threat.
The master of assist. The master of assist.
Oh,
that was well saved.
Just one touch was that's needed there, and that's what be an instant.
And Man City fans will be disappointed.
They'll actually be disappointed in their team. It's going straight into penalties, and that is a lottery
Anybody's
game. Anybody can take it.
Yeah, but we don't know how their goalkeepers are good at penalty shootout. But we'll still be here to dish it out to you. Maybe there will be a goal before the end of the game. We don't know. Anything can happen. It's football. It's like banana peel sometimes. That was good defending. Well,
And that was the final.
That's the final whistle.
Wow.
113th minute.
Manchester City were just about 1 minute away from winning
the game.
But they were going straight into penalty shootout.
Wow. Mary Olugboji said, I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's no club bigger than Arsenal in England. Arsenal is the best and biggest team in England. Oh,
I know earlier.
Well, that comment came from the dream because
earlier before when
you cannot say a team is the biggest without winning any European championship, and they are not even the top team in winning the number of leagues, the highest number of leagues.
Let's be sincere. Let's be precise with what she said. They say biggest. Like Nigeria now, we can say the giant of Africa. Of course,
no way.
They're not the biggest. Manchester United is the biggest, or even Liverpool.
No way Arsenal is the biggest.
Arsenal is not close to the
How many
biggest.
leagues? For what? Abana.
probably.
And we are preparing for the penalty shootout. We will go for a very short break. Trossard, the deflection from Akonji gave Arsenal the equalizer from the opener of Cole Palmer, which is 1-1 now. So they are going to penalties. We'll go for a very short break. We'll be back with the penalty shootout. Stay with us and don't go nowhere.
This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Ekbenwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Ekbenwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The teams with the biggest fan zone in the world, Chelsea versus Manchester United. They're about to start their match. And it has been a lot of talking between the fans, Manchester fans and Chelsea fans. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center.
Thought Man City would win at full time, but Arsenal came up with a magic a magical moment from Trossard that led to the deflection, and the game came up to 1-1, which means we'll be going to straight to penalties. And on our screens, we can see that Odegaard is the first to do the penalty against Ortega. What will it do? Oh, the gaffer.
They're taking inspiration of winning penalty shootout against Monaco just days
ago.
Emirates Cup. So there's a lot of inspiration coming into this for them. The full-time draw is actually a good one for Arsenal too. Getting the draw against Manchester City.
And Odegaard against Ortega.
1-1.
What can he do? He stands straight.
1, 2, 3.
To his left foot.
Move, dance, and
the right hand side of the goalkeeper.
For Arsenal.
Good goal. Arsenal leading 1-0 in the penalty shootout. Shagun, who do you think will win?
Fantastic one for it's a game of it's a lottery game. You know, my club is not actually playing, so I have to be as objective I can be in this game. So the best team.
Oh, you are standing City on
whoever wins the game wins the game.
Penalty, you can't predict who will win. Penalty, you can't predict who will win.
And that's the two captains, taking the first penalties.
And De Bruyne is working towards the penalty
Will he be the one to lose?
spot.
When it comes to penalty, it's the bigger name in football. The big, the
sometimes,
mostly, yeah. See Cristiano Ronaldo starting penalty shootouts.
Yeah.
No, he won't.
And it is De Bruyne. Oh! De Bruyne missed it.
De Bruyne missed it.
Oh! Against the woodwork. It's like he's angry, and you can
He
see.
hits that on the woodwork.
The woodwork came to the
that
boy was about.
I am feeling it for him.
The power was
The boy was crying.
That ball was too much. There was too much
Oh,
power
too
on that.
much power on the ball.
There was too much power on that.
1 goal for Arsenal.
Well, it's just a community shield. It's just an season opener trophy. So
Man City are known to lose. Even last season, they lost it to Liverpool.
This is another Belgian trying to take the penalty. I don't really expect Trossard to actually lose it because he's a very good player when it comes to penalty shootouts.
Well, penalty can be anybody's game. So 1-0 so far. 1-1 penalty is taken. De Bruyne lost and Odegaard scored. Trossard standing behind the ball. What can he do with the ball? Moves back.
He's going to pick his corner. He's up.
Yeah, he will pick his spot. Let's see if he can put it there.
Oh!
And well
the wrong way.
placed. Send the goalkeeper the wrong way.
Fantastic one from Trossard.
Arsenal 2-0 up. Man City about to send in their second penalty taker. No, that's
before Trossard even got to the ball. I don't really think Ortega is going to save.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good penalty.
We have Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva playing the second penalty for Man City. Will he lose or will he score?
It's a good penalty taker.
Is his head still in?
Oh, look at that.
Beauty.
Beautiful.
The Beauty. Is also
2-1. 2-1.
I don't expect penalty
It's about the goalkeeper right now.
Yeah, how good the goalkeeper is.
Yeah,
But sometimes it's about the accuracy of the players too. Like De Bruyne.
De
Bruyne send the goalkeeper the wrong way.
Before Bernardo even got to the ball.
Some Manchester United fans are pained that Man City did a treble.
Saka is not a good penalty taker.
How? How would you assume?
It's not about
That he lost the penalty doesn't mean he's not a good penalty
You can
taker.
see him, Saka with the goalkeeper 1-on-1. What did he do? Saka
Let's see.
this ball.
Saka facing Ortega. Score.
Ortega is not really good when it comes to penalty shootout. This is
Three goals for
this
three
is
penalty.
What's the painful part for it if Manchester lose this game is they lost at the
dying minutes.
The dying minutes of this game.
They considered that goal.
They considered that goal late into the game. And you can see the motivation of the Arsenal fans, the Arsenal players. This is a big trophy for Arsenal.
I think it's Rodri, right?
It's actually a big trophy for Arsenal. These are other shots.
A lot of Arsenal fans will be peeping and be looking like, wow,
Rodri,
we should win this trophy.
It's
Saved by Ramsdale.
3 goals, 1 goal. 3 penalty, 1 goal for Arsenal, for Man City.
Wow.
3 goals.
Arsenal leading 3 goals to 1 penalty kick.
And you can see the joy of the Arsenal fans. They are so happy seeing the team winning by penalty here. Wow. That's against the run of
That was a good save from Ramsdale.
If
Arsenal scored this penalty, they've won the game.
That is Fabio
Vieira. It can be the winner.
What is the referee saying to him? Don't score this goal. What is
No.
This boy is actually in tears. That young Manchester City fans.
You know, Man City usually they lose. Last season they lost it. Now it looks like they are losing it.
What do you have to do? Look at the goalkeeper. Please don't miss this goal. This is the goal we are waiting for. 1, 2, 3. And
Arsenal won the community shield. Good performance from Arsenal.
And you can see, what are you saying? Don't commonize this. Don't commonize this. Don't commonize this trophy. You won treble winner. They won the FA Cup. They won the Premier League. They won the Champions League. And now, don't underrate it. You are underrating it.
They don't count community shield as part of our trophies.
The Gaffer is an Arsenal fan.
No, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I choose to support Arsenal today. You know, I support Arsenal even at the dying minute. I was telling you that Arsenal is going to win this match.
We know you are passionate Arsenal.
No. Do you know what it means? Take a leaf from me. Take an example from me. Don't give up. Never say never until it is over. Clap for me. Clap for me.
But no, if you will clap for Arsenal.
I think this is a year.
Wow. Arsenal won the FA Community Shield.
Congratulations.
2023 on penalties. 4 goals to 1 on penalties. Guardiola has lost the Community Shield back to back.
3 times now.
I think
out of 4,
2 or 3 times now.
Out of 4, he won 1 and lost 3.
Wow. Well, he has won 1, so not bad. Well, that's how much we can take for today. The Gaffer, your take on this game, your final take.
Yeah, my final take on this game, a very nice game, a very, very balanced game. You know, ordinarily.
Your voice is now cool because Arsenal.
No. Ordinarily, let me say my mind. Ordinarily, every fan will have given up because already there was a time I wanted to. You already saying you can see the Arsenal fan. They are leaving the stadium. I wanted to start singing one by one. They don't go. One by one. They don't go. But you don't need to. We say let's keep that for because the match is not over. We are still asking me even at that moment. I was still saying Arsenal is going to win this match. Arsenal will equalize. Arsenal will win. Even after all the time wasting, after the injury, you know, after the additional 8 minutes, then there was injury along the way. You know, I was still having that hope that Arsenal was going to equalize because something deep in me tell me that they're going to equalize, and it happened. Though it's not that I know. I was only gazing. I was only gazing that it's going to be this way, but I just believe that one thing that keeps me going: never say never until it is over. Okay. Congratulations to us.
Yeah, the Gaffer said never say never until it's over. Shagun, the final take on the match.
That's how game of football happens. You know, it's until the final whistle when the game is actually over. And good on to Arsenal, they got the victory. You know, I guess the run of play. I never expected them taking that victory. I never expected Manchester City to actually, you know, concede that goal very late into the game because I was even about saying that no matter, even if they should go to 20 minutes, Manchester City had this game covered. Yes, they actually dominated play, but you know when it matters most, Arsenal equalized, and I'm sure this is going to actually motivate the Arsenal players going into the next season, and this is also going to push on Pep Guardiola against his players because I know he'll be speaking a lot of words to his players. They actually got themselves they got complacent around that minute where they considered that goal. Good one for Arsenal going to next season. At least they have one low budget trophy to celebrate with.
Low budget trophy. It's Shagun that said that. Low budget trophy. Wow. No, I don't forget that word.
No, I don't like that language.
It's a low budget trophy.
It hit me so hard.
It hit you. Yeah, it will hit you because you're an Arsenal fan.
Why will you underrate this trophy with the Arsenal just won now?
It said low budget.
No, the thing is that
you know some people say low budget shawarma. But you say no. Wow.
No, hit me. We
don't have time. No. You will say your mind when the season starts. For the viewers that wants to hear your mind, they have to come for our next weekend will be live. So you want to hear the mind of the Gaffer himself. Don't worry, it's hot in the cooler. I said the hot. He's excited. We know he's a coded Arsenal fan. Anyways, we have had a wonderful game. Arsenal, congratulations to them. We love everything. But we need to present this show in a very cool and subtle and very interesting way for the viewing pleasure. So, I'm still Adeyemi, your host. The The gaffer is here. Shagun is here. Together we are saying now, bye for now. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. for the England-Nigeria game. Promises to be mind-blowing and exciting. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us. By tomorrow morning, don't forget.
That is the day we've all been waiting for.